The financial markets opened at 9:30 this morning in New York City. And I'm making this recording at 9:50 because I was busy trading, setting prices, and looking at what my strategy is for the day. I want to start out with the Wall Street Journal, the market data site. And this gives me a sense of what's going on in all the major indices as of 9:51. This is live time data. We can see the S&P is up 2.52 or 0.13%. NASDAQ is up 591 or 0.14. So we're seeing, basically flat up a little bit. So these are the summaries that I get. And now we can see what's going on with currencies. We can see that the euro is down. And when the euro is down relative to the dollar, you can trade these as in the exchange traded portfolio, or the, start all over. Good day. What I'd like to do today is give you a sense of trading using a trading platform and how it relates to investing. I'm doing this at 9:52. The markets, New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ opened at 9:30 this morning, and in the past 20 minutes I've already placed a few transactions, both buys and sells, as part of my trading strategy, which I'll talk about as we move forward. So right here you have your key indices. We can see that NASDAQ is up slightly, as is the S&P 500, and the Russell 2000 about the same. Europe looks like it's going okay, both in the mainland, on the continent, and in the United Kingdom. We now can see what's happening with currencies here. We can see that the euro is down, which means that when I go on holiday, I will actually be able to get more for my dollar. Now, if you are in Europe and you're importing goods from the U.S. or paying in U.S. dollars, your costs have gone up. We can see what's happening with oil, and we see that oil is actually up today, $1.25 for the gallon. We can see that the U.S. government securities are up, so interest rates are up slightly today, 2.619. That's at 9:53. What we can then, as we move our way down here, we see the stock market indices, the major ones. Here is the S&P 500, and you can now see going across, here's what it is today, how much it's up today. Here's what the 5-day change is, 1.4, and in the month, 388. NASDAQ in the month is up 6.64, as if you look up the next line. So if you were trying to market time and you weren't in the market in May, you missed all of the gain in the NASDAQ 100 for the entire year by not being in. And if you didn't time that right, you weren't doing as well. The same thing with the S&P 500. A good portion of the gain was there. So you can see all the different categories: composites, biotech, pharma. We can see biotech is actually doing really well today. It's up at 0.39. That's one of the leaders. And we can see all the different commodities. What we can do is we get this market diary, which tells us as of right now, there's 2,000 on the New York Stock Exchange. There's 2,970 companies have traded. 1,761 of them have advanced pricing. 1,072 have declined or unchanged. So we can tell from this that the market overall is up. Now, this is another one. We are seeing 194 companies at 52-week highs, a good sign for the market. And when we look at the volume, this isn't bad volume for this time of the day, to be honest with you. So we're seeing advances, total share volume of 293 million shares, advancing 186 million and declining 100. So we have 2/3 of the market actually turning up. What are the gainers? Today, these companies here are seeing increases: 78, 27, 21, 17. Now, these are great, but take a look at the decliners. I mean, if you have one of these, that's great. You hit your home run. But here, if you were involved in the other one, you could have lost a lot more. When we look at the industry groups, we see that specialty retailers are up. Urban Outfitters is probably in there. Home construction, apparel retailers, home improvement. What are we seeing down? Gambling. Must not be a good day for gambling. Specialized consumer services, tires, platinum, it gets a sense of what's going on. We can also take a look at what went on in Asia. We can see Asia was pretty good through here. All the Asia Hang Seng was quite strong. Shanghai was break even. We move into Europe and we can see overall Europe is up. Germany flat, Italy up slightly, Spain up a lot. But remember, these are the size of the markets. So overall, if we're looking at a 600 stock euro, it does appear to be up. We can check the yield curve, and we can see that yields are up today on the 2-year and the 10-year and the 30-year. They did not hit the high that they did last. Well, on the 30-year it did, 10-year it didn't, but we are seeing some pressure on the 2-year rates. So that gives us a real good sense of what is going on in the overall market. So as I'm trading, and I am an active trader, I'm not a day trader, or I'm not a minute trader, I'm a tactical trader. I look for opportunities in the marketplace, and hopefully within a day or two, I turn them. I'm not looking for home runs, I'm looking for small movements in stock that do add up. I'm going to take you over now to, there we go. I built this screen so I could talk to you about a number of things here. This is my trading screen, my E-Trade, and I have a lot going on here, and I do apologize. I hope this is recording all right when you're seeing a lot of movement here. What I have across the top here, if you look, this is the ticker, and it is giving me a real-time link of every trade that's going on. Okay, and we can see the symbol and the price and what it's up. Now, what I did is I created a watch list here, and I put in some ETFs and some of the funds that you're working on. I've set up a column which has news. I want to know what the earnings per share are, so I put that in. I put the PE ratio in, and the PE ratio is the historical one, which is the prior year's earnings divided by the current stock price, so we can see what all of them are going on. This is the beta, and this is how this stock performs relative to the market as a whole. This is the last trade. This is the change in dollars from opening. This is the change in percent. This is the bid and ask. This is the days range, and as you can see from the days range, it's 195, 129, 195.72. So we can see that we're off of the highs of the day. A 52-week range, 155.73 to 195.72. So today's would have been a record had it held, and you can see there's 13 million shares traded. So I've laid out here S&P 500, the iShares 2000, Power Shares, QQQ, iShares Emerging Markets, and there's our Alaska Air, JetBlue, Bed Bath & Beyond, Urban Outfitters, Avico, which I'm watching, Skyworks, and Pilgrim's Pride. Now, if we look, something's going on here with Pilgrim's Pride. It lost $1.42 out of, that's 5% decline. That's not a good thing if you were in that today. So let's see, we see a piece here called news. So we click on the news, and what we can find is Pilgrim's Pride looks like they're not going to get Hillshire Farms. So that's not a good thing. The price went up on that, so we're seeing some pressure there. So you always check the news, and we're looking at the PE ratios. We're looking at it as it's trading now. Now, when I said the market is transparent, what I mean by that is I've created a trading ladder here, and this is for the SPY. And what it does is it tells me, and that's the right here, SPY, and what we can see right now is this is the last price, gain, bid, ask, volume. I actually have a position out there that's doing quite well. But what we can see here, this is the transparency, okay, is this is the bid. This is how many shares are people want to buy. This is the comma of how many shares people want to sell, and here is the price. When these two come together, that's the market. Trades are being matched. So what I can see here is the transparency. I can see right now that at 195.61, we can see shares coming in and out being offered. Okay, so that's a way you know what's going on. So we know there's some people willing to buy down here at 195.44. The buyers are down there. We do see a lot of people willing to sell up in this range. So it is a matter of transparency. Now we can do this. Let's just hook this up for you to flexibility. So this is the SPY. If we go down to Alaska Air, we can see something here, and Alaska Air is a little different. What you can see here is we don't have as many people buying and selling, and the volume is only 92,000 compared to 13,896. So we can see though where the market is, it's not moving as much. The last trade was 99.54. We see somebody willing to buy at 99.50. Somebody willing to buy at 99.57. Now, when I'm trading, I can go in and let me just show you. I'll show you. Well, we do that. Okay. I want to buy, say, 200 shares, and I don't want to. I can buy them different ways. I can buy them at the market, which is at this point we don't know what it is because of that. So I would put a bid in to buy 200 shares, and I didn't enter my trade. Okay, let's take Alaska Air, and as you can see that there's not as much volume going on here right now. What we're seeing is some at 99.39 somebody wants to buy 100 shares. Now it's at now we don't have any people willing to buy at the moment within that range, but here's people willing to sell at 99.60. So now we see some people starting to come into the market at 99.35, 99.34. So we can see how that works. We move over to JetBlue, which is trading almost 1.8 million. Look at the difference in shares. And now we can see much more volume going on. So now when I can buy directly from this screen, and let's say, I don't want to actually buy it at this moment, that I want to buy 200 shares of JetBlue at 10:30. Is that my bid? Okay, that's not. Okay, so this gives you, I've switched now over to JetBlue, and you can see that there's a much higher volume here, almost 2 million shares compared to 94,000 for Alaska Air. So there's more people trading JetBlue. And what you can see is, again, there's a lot of people willing to sell out here, a lot of people willing to buy. So this gives me the transparency of knowing what's going on in the market. What I've set up here is a ticker, trade ticker. So what I have on my watch list here, every one of these, whenever there is a trade, it pops in and it tells me what was traded, where it was traded, what exchange, what the size was, what the ask trade was, and the time. So anytime you see these here, IAWM, that's the Russell 2000. Again, you can see the volume there. When we can see Avico, which is something I've been watching, again, the sizes are not as big. There's a lot of them and they're not moving as fast. But we'll watch anyone coming across our screen at the current moment. So that gives you a sense. I have my watch list. I watch the trading ladder here so that I know what the depth of the market is. So knowing what it is here, I wouldn't necessarily want to put an order in. I'm seeing a little support down here. So if I did want to buy Abaco, let me show you how I do that. You have an order entry, and the symbol, I want to go a little low. I don't want to own it at 71.52. Let's go to Skyworks, and I will buy it. Say I want to buy Skyworks. I would put in the symbol SWKS. Skyworks, that's the one. And what I want to buy is I want to buy 200 shares, and I want to pay. I'm going to put a limit order in, and that limit order right here is going to say I will buy it, but at a certain price. And the price that I will buy it at, $46.95, and it's going to automatically go to whatever is the best exchange. And I can have it good till canceled or the day. And I'm just going to put a day order in. At the end of the day, this order will expire. I press buy, and it'll ask me, do I want to place the following order? So I will now place a trade at $46.95 and press execute. And what you'll see if you go back over to the ladder is I can see my position now in the marketplace. So I'm one of these 932 people. I'm knowing that it has to, all these have to be filled. These people are buying me out. Okay? So I have to wait for it to come down. Now I may think it's coming down, which is going over here to my charts, which we looked at. And let's put in, that was Skyworks, SWKS. There's Skyworks. And I have it set on 5 minute, 5 days. And it might hit that. Look at, we're at 56.34 at 9:45 on Friday. So I might get it. So if you bought it there, and I bought it back here, yeah, I bought it right about here. So I'm looking at about $1 profit per share on what I did buy. So what I am seeing now is if we're seeing the averages, and on 5 minutes it's a little tougher to see, but we can see right now that the MACD line has crossed over the signal, and as a result, we're seeing some buying coming in, and we're seeing the price go up. If I change this back to the daily for 100 days, you can see, one, I have a lot more in here than I've shown you, but that's okay. So that's sort of what's going on, and I come back to here, and this is my trading screen, and you can still see now somebody's coming at 46.94, 47.12. So we're seeing some movement there. So as I'm trading, I'm watching my stocks. I'm watching the overall market as to what's going on, and I can trade from my platform. I can look at everything. I can get news. So this gives you a sense of what trading is. I placed an order. I am actually going to go back and cancel that order. Well, I guess I like it at 46.95. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and hopefully this gave you an idea of what's really happening. And when you're back in the fall, I do trade, so stop by during office hours if you want to get a hands-on, or if you want to spend more time talking about it, just let me know. And enjoy the rest of the day. I've already made $249 in the market this morning, which isn't a bad thing. If I do that a couple times a week, I'm in great shape. So with that, have a wonderful day.